And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome! You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say. Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to Koi Plays Tarot. My name is Koi, and I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today. What we're looking at in this round of read is going to be your career read for the month of December. Career read as in ventures we want to go on, opportunities we want to take, things that we find of value, right? Where does our labor go? What do we want to put into it? As a preamble to the read, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. At times, when it gets difficult, understand that I, as your tarot card reader, I'm not here to misguide you, mislead you. That's not what I do here. That's not the purpose of why I have the table. Think of it like a conversation. We'll talk about the good and the bad, the rain and the sunshine, and hopefully we'll get through it together, okay? So follow along with me in your read today, your career read, month of December, and yeah, for the star people, let's see what the cards say. We're going to start in the time-based orientation, so the past is going to be located over here. Show us the cards that we need to see, please, for Aquarius in this read. What are the cards you need us to see for Aquarius in their read today? So, in the past, okay, I like that. Seven of Cups, the notion of the entertainment possibility. Why so? Six of Wands, okay, finding victory in such. Strength, the card of Leo. Okay, so maybe possibility does work out, right? I'm saying this, Aquarius, because of this. These two put together, one indicative of, recognition, the ability to follow through, that things, eventually do work out when we try. That Six of Wands coupling with that Seven of Cups, the first card that you pulled representing entertaining all this possibility, that could only be had by the power of perseverance. Strength, the card of Leo, right? We had to find it within us, not only to say these things are possible, but even more so trying to tell ourselves, hey, this will all eventually be worth it. And when all these doorways open up, hey, maybe that's the result of that hard work. So kudos to you, putting in that effort. And with everything opening up, we have to ask ourselves, now that these are possibilities, where do we go with that? And I think, we focus so long on, we got to get the door open, we got to make this happen, we got to make this happen. Then it finally does. In fact, every door swings open at once, and we don't know which one to go through. So, yeah, good. I like the effort. I like what I'm seeing so far. Now, in the present orientation, what of the here and now? Show us the cards that we need to see, please, for Aquarius in this reading. Define the present for them in their career. Yep, that's a break. It could be bad shuffling. At time of recording, it is very early in the morning. Show us the cards we need to see, please, for Aquarius in this read today. One more. I have a feeling I know where this is going, but let's hold off on it for now. What are the cards we need to see, please, for Aquarius in this read? There we go. So, of the here and now, Hermit, the card of Virgo. I mean, it's great that you're trusting your own advice, but why? It doesn't tell me. Okay, Justice, card of Libra. And what couples with that? The Fool. There we go. Okay. Because it didn't exactly tell me, like, yeah, you can tell me good vibes all day, but what does that mean? So, after kicking open all those doors and giving ourselves a moment of reprieve that was long, exhaustively overdue, Aquarius, this is called spade a spade, these options open up. You're able to sit with yourself and say, what do we want? Hermit. I know I've done the right thing. Now, what does it mean to live it? Moving forward, Justice, the card of Libra. How do we accept all aspects of the processes and then eventually sign on that dotted line, right? What I was worried about with your past orientation is that we kicked open all these doors and that kind of became stalled for a second of what to do, what choices to make. Here in your present, no, I've decided on something, right? No more hesitation. I'm good. I can do this. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to sign on this line. So thus, the Fool's Journey, the Fool, number 0, I don't know if you can see it because of the reflection of the light, but the Fool's Journey, the power of new beginnings and believing that a new world is possible, not only because you're optimistic enough, but in some ways, almost dashingly and foolishly naive enough to believe that the world can change. It starts from within. And so where you are right now, we took all those doors that we kicked open and decided on one. This is the best option in course for me. Now, if I can trust my wisdom and say this is the right choice, what would that amount to? We're very much in a state of, okay, if I'm leaving and transitioning to a new job, if I'm leaving and transitioning to a new project, I am ready, more ready than I ever was, because I was so focused in the past on we just need to put all options on the table right now. But those options only stay open in so much as we sit still. Once we make an activation choice, once we move through one of those doorways, so too do other things open up. But the other doors that are open start to close in. That's not necessarily a bad thing, because not every door is meant to stay open forever. So, future. So the cards that we need to see, please, in the future orientation for Aquarius in this read. What are the cards we need to see, please, in the future orientation for Aquarius in the read today? In the future? Interesting. Why so? Tower. Sudden calamity strikes in what way? 6 of Cups. Okay. And the 2 of Swords. And what we thought we wanted may not be exactly what we anticipated. That's just so interesting because, again, we put so much effort into opening doors, finally went through one, and then something happens that pushes you completely out again. That Tower, at least from what I'm seeing. Because the Tower is always representative of that which we do not have control over. Functionally, I would say two cards, even of the major arcana, are indicative of that throughout the entire deck. It's Judgment and the Tower. 2 things you do not have control over. And this is one of them. And it's just so interesting because in our present state, we make a decision, our best and most well-informed one, and then the universe throws us a curveball and says, not try again, but reformulate your strategy. And so the 2 of Swords, and I think that's why that's coming out here, like, dang, I did all that. That's why we kicked open all those doors in the first place. Are you telling me what I'm doing in the present is wrong? No. In fact, the 6 of Cups, it couldn't have possibly been wrong. The 6 of Cups represents, soul bond energy, that which is represented between you and another. I don't really read that in your career read because, again, this is more focused on your individual goals, aspirations, and labor, Aquarius, but it's more to the point of nostalgia, right? What we thought we originally wanted, we had to learn again, right? Everything we thought we figured out, we had to learn again. Don Henley and the Eagles, yay. Essentially, we had what it takes to open all these options. So if one door closes, right, we allow the doors to open. Yeah, it won't feel good for a while when we sit in the reality of, wow, I worked so hard to get here. I thought I was taking the right path. You were, because it was the right path for you at that time. But whatever pushes you out also lets you know at that time that might not be the right path for you anymore. Thing is, don't give up on everything else that you did to open up other opportunities. That 6 of Cups, I think, is calling on you to remember, okay, you've done it once, Remember the space you were coming from. Remember that fire. Remember that energy. Remember everything that you put into it and the value that you had. And maybe you could do it again underneath it all. The Hangman, time will tell. What observation do we have? But even more so, what's the point of observation and observing? I think even with this timeline I'm seeing right now, Aquarius, we were so focused on let's make sure we can get our foot in the door that we don't appreciate actually walking through it. I know right now we're very much in the state of, okay, made a choice, right path, let's stick to it, let's breathe for a second. But that breather is more coming from the amount of stress you put on yourself in the past just to make sure everything worked out. Now, if a tower came at you in your current state, yeah, would it be fun? Absolutely not. But more so, would you be prepared? I'm going to tell you right now, Aquarius, you're more prepared now than you were back here. Because this was just, fighting to make everything happen. This is, okay, took a day to rest. Let's make this choice one step at a time, right? That is a more settled, more confident place to come from when, basically a situation will come and kind of sweep you off your feet, which makes you reformulate another strategy. Sometimes that's how it is. Oh, hold on. Let me see if my arms are long enough. Here we go. So let's look at the space in between, because I think that'll indicate a lot more. Because again, if the tower is not anything that we can't control, then let's focus on the things within that which we can. Okay. So the next cards of connection, real connective energies, a bridging gap between all time-based orientations located here upon this read for Aquarius. We'll first look between the past and present orientation in this career read. What is held between what was and what is? Show us the cards that we need to see, please, for Aquarius in this read. Page of Swords. Observation, okay. Oh, wanting to learn, wanting to know more. King of Wands. So what is the right decision? Yeah, I mean, you put in such effort just to open all these paths, and now it's like almost analysis paralysis. You can't move forward until you do. Not necessarily a bad thing, but understand that you're not meant to just stay in a state of possible stagnancy forever. Hangman. And so whatever decision I make, because you're still unsettled by it, God, that makes so much more sense now. That's why it's playing on that way. If we have to coach ourselves around what the right decision is, do we truly believe that it's right? Now, Aquarius, you're one of the most analytical signs across the entire zodiac. And I want you to sit with the fact of we opened up all this possibility and we're still saying we can't choose a door. Every door got open, we kicked them all down, and yet we can't walk through it. Why is that? And I think that Hangman is coming out there saying, well, if I make this choice, then, we got to stick with it. Let's see what happens. And that makes a different interpretation of your present, because now it's almost like a coping strategy, right? The Hermit, where we're supposed to trust our own wisdom that we made the right choice. Now we're trying to make ourselves settled and content with something that we still haven't gotten to the core of the matter of. And I think that's what's going on. It's like, there was security in all this possibility, but the moment I chose something, I had to coach myself into liking it. Am I hearing that right? Listen, sometimes these things happen, but I'd rather that you sit with, okay, here's why I did what I did instead of how I did what I did, right? Because I think you're summing it up right now as, okay, A plus B equals C. That's simple. That's easy to strategize around. I can deal with that. Whereas it's more of a complex mathematical formula, even more than the quadratic formula. It's more of, no matter what I'm getting right now, I'm not okay with it because I'm not okay with how I feel about it. And that's, I think, a tougher, realization to have, in that we had all this possibility back here. We made a choice. We're supposed to be good with that, right? So you let the process itself decide how you feel, rather than letting how you feel and having a determined aspect of whatever you want to do moving forward decide your process. Those are two different frameworks because we're letting the result define our journey there rather than our journey eventually getting us the result that we want. It's coming from two different places. So that explains more why the tower is coming in. But even more so, between the present and the future, show the cards that we need to see, please. Between the here and now, and the what could. Show us the cards that we need to see, please, for Aquarius in their career reading. Ten of Swords. Okay, yeah. And with time, you'll realize unless we make that choice of our own volition, with our own reasoning beyond this is a good job for me, we're going to grow increasingly dissatisfied and unhappy because it's going to spell out obvious truth. King of Cups. We are approaching things with the best of our intentionality and best possibility, but it doesn't change ultimately how we feel, right? The King of Cups here can balance multiple emotions at once. And here, the emotions don't exactly feel clean in regards to what we're doing because, yeah, we're supposed to want this as our sign of success. And simultaneously, we're growing more and more disdainful of it because of a choice that we made. Queen of Pentacles. Well, I mean, even then, that's a maximizing of, our station, trying to get the best out of what we got. But those two put together behind that Ten of Swords still spell out you're anticipating its ending. So if we made a decision from insecurity or just going with the flow, going with emotions over what could have been a grandiose decision of where we want to go, yeah, the universe hears you whether or not you acknowledge it. And so that tower coming in is not meant to destroy you. It's meant to destroy the path that you tried to let get decided for you. You didn't want this, at least from how I'm seeing and interpreting it, Aquarius. You didn't want this. You just wanted one of your possibilities you open up to show validation and confirmation that you did something right. Good. I understand that everybody needs that form of validation. We all need, the showing that we've done something right, that our efforts are valid and worth it. I completely understand that. However, if this was such a life-altering decision and we just said, hey, I'm going to do it, this is what it's supposed to look like, right? I'll make myself happy. The fact that we had to do that, just say that line out loud, already indicates why the tower is just headed on its way. Part of you knows no matter how much you try to feel better and do right by it or make the best of what we got, you're becoming increasingly dissatisfied. Yes, it is a great new beginning over what it can potentially offer and what you can learn from it. Otherwise, you wouldn't see opportunity here with the Fool. However, even then, you're already putting expected caps on the Fool's journey, whereas the Fool's journey is supposed to be expanding from the individual people he meets on the road to the bigger concepts of life, people, entire nations even, and then eventually to the esoteric of the cycle of life itself, right? It's supposed to be ever expanding. But here you started that journey and already put a deadline of expectations on how you feel it's going to end. Did you ever verbalize this? Absolutely not. Do you feel it internally? Absolutely. Underneath it all, Four of Pentacles, still choosing to hold on. Is this the right investment? Is it the right one? You wouldn't be questioning it if it was. Next, define the major arcana stream across the table for Aquarius in this reading. Show the cards that we need to see, please. We first look towards strength. Card of Leo. What about the power of perseverance, the ability to make all things happen? Find the strength within to push through. We will start with strength. Knight of Swords. Right. That is very insistent energy. Again, we're just trying to kick open doors instead of, really focusing and honing in on what we actually wanted. Let's go to the Hermit next. Hermit, 10 of Wands. And so that burden that we put on ourselves over here, okay, the decision where I'm going right now, this doorway is going to heal me, rather than saying, I'm in a better position to better analyze, accept, and build off of what I want. Again, two different frameworks, but we went through the same door. Justice, card of Libra. Ten of Pentacles. So with the contract that we signed or whatever we had, trying to make this the foundation. I think we're putting the cart ahead of the horse. I understand the framework and the intentionality. Let me put it like this, Aquarius. If we knew what we wanted first and measured our job or employment or whatever we wanted to do against that, then we would better fare the odds of how that weighs out, right? There's a lot of debate over, is this right for me? Is this right for me? But I think we're putting one in front of the other, right? We're saying that this job or this opportunity, this occupation in and of itself will get me to that 10 of Pentacles. The thing is, you haven't decided what that 10 of Pentacles looks like. And so that 10 of Pentacles here becomes ultimately kind of mute and functionally useless, because if we accurately picture, this is what I want, here's my game plan, 1 year out, 2 years out, what do we think? Does this job, do I realistically see myself engaging with this place in that way for the longevity of it, right? With that way, you're deciding what your goal is, and this is only one tool in the toolkit, not the total and all be all definition of it. You see how that's different to the Fool? 9 of Swords. There we go. Because something was not adding up here. 9 of Swords. A new beginning riddled with anxiety. And now it's making more sense. This isn't necessarily coming from the place of planning. We're trying to say this job will decide my own happiness, right? This job, this opportunity, me signing my name on this line and saying I'm officially a partner here, I'm officially a person who is here, that is going to be the defining point of how I move forward for my own goals, my own aspirations, and hopefully, it'll all work out and make me happy. It's not making you happy because you never decided what that looked like for yourself first. And because of that, we're putting all the faith that an external force is going to make us happy rather than ourselves. It's an unintentional shift of responsibilities from the analytical point of pragmatism, right? You're doing it because from an analytical standpoint, hey, this is the best option of what I see. I've weighed out the odds. Here we go. I totally get the logic behind it. However, you ain't feeling none of that. And that's just the truth. You do not like what you heard. You do not like where things stand. I get it. I'm not trying to judge you, Aquarius. Trust me, I'm not. But we also have to call a spade a spade. It's a great opportunity, and yet you don't like it here. And now you're trying to make yourself more to that 10 of Wands. Well, we did such work to get here. Come on, put a smile on. Make yourself happy. It ain't adding up right now. So now to the Tower. 2 of Swords. Okay, well, 2 of Swords coming out twice. One indicative of how did we get here, and second, no, we actually know very well. It's that 6 of Cups. It's that I didn't push open all these doors for nothing, but I never really sat with what I was going to do afterwards, right? If I can give a metaphor real quick, there's one scene in the cartoon show SpongeBob SquarePants where I think, what was his name? The villain Plankton, right? Runs in and he gets so close to getting the formula of the Krabby Patty, right? And then afterwards, he gets caught, and then he says, "What were you gonna do?" And then he says, "Well, I never really thought about it this far," right? That's kind of the vibe I'm getting right now, Aquarius. Is that here? What's going on is that when this sudden wave of destruction that comes and upends this opportunity for you, we're going to be questioning why it happened, because we were such a team player. We did all the physical effective work to make this thing work, right? We're the ideal employee, whatever that means to you. But in terms of all misgivings and misconceptions, this 2 of Swords of how we got here, no, it'll become dead obvious. We didn't want to be there in the first place. We just didn't think it out that far, or we didn't do the toil of piecing out what that means to us. Because again, we told ourselves we should just be grateful. We should just be grateful instead of saying, okay, I kicked open all these doors. Now, what do I want all these doors to open for me? Two different questions, same execution. And there was one more. Hangman. Two of Wands, intentionality. Yep. It wasn't just how we got there. It's about learning more about yourself and what these things open up for you. Okay. You know what? I'll take that. I will take that. So in a crossing pattern, the Empress, the best and most productive version of ourselves. The Ace of Cups, emotional fulfillment. What will it take to make us happy? I know it's hard to talk about sometimes, but until we sit with that, this tower is headed on its way. May not be right now, but when it hits, it's gonna hit hard. And that's just the universe's way of removing you from a situation where ultimately you don't want to be in, but you don't want to make a decision about. The tower is ultimately designed our best interest, is that it just takes us there, like drags us there by the hair, kicking and screaming. So resolution. Cards of resolution. What do we need to know about the space of resolution for Aquarius in this reading? Resolution we hold. Four of Pentacles, holding on again. I hope this time it's more about lessons rather than just saying, I have this title. Nine of Wands. The burnout effect, the efforts that we put in, hopefully is what we get out. However, if we have to white knuckle grip that, that opportunity of what we said we should have been appreciative so far, we're actually locking ourselves into this pattern. Underneath it all, the moon, the card of Pisces. And in holding on, there are things we have not yet understood, things we have not yet shuffled through or waded through, and things that need to be contemplated in order to have a better outlook. Here's what I see in your read today, Aquarius. We put such hard work into making something happen, but by the time that all this success and opportunity was basically put at our doorstep, we kind of approach the framework of providence, prosperity, and life for ourselves as this job will fix it for me, right? This will be the be all end all of anything I can do, rather than saying, no, I opened all these opportunities. Now I got to sit with what that means. And I think we're just in such rush mode that we kind of dove headfirst into an opportunity because it looked great, but we didn't really, decide for ourselves what that means. And so moving forward, the universe will remind you to look within and ask what that means to you. Because again, it's about emotional fulfillment. It's about personal fulfillment. At the end of the day, I did all this work, yes, to open opportunities for me, but even more so, what does happiness look like? So as long as I grip to the idea that I should have been grateful for, an opportunity that got laid out from my efforts, rather than saying, this probably isn't right for me and I should make that action, that intentional choice before I get too far deep into it. Maybe that's why this sudden stop, halt, or complete, expulsion from wherever you are happens. The universe is always listening. And right now, you're holding on to something that emotionally you're already letting go of. So that's why we're seeing your read today, Aquarius. Hope the conversation helped. And yeah, is it an easy read? No, it's kind of one of the tougher ones. But I do hope that you come to a place of emotional solace where we can say, I am here, I work here, and also I'm A-okay. So sit with that for a second. I'll catch you around, okay? See ya.